Hello, my name is Rogue, and I'm going to do a little walkthrough on how to set up a defense mission. Um, the old way is broken since the Zeus DLC was released, and after pulling my hair out and cursing at my screen, I finally figured out how to get a decent defense mission. First thing we need to do is drop a defense module. Well, actually, we need to drop a player, because that's not a player. So I'm going to be playing a old Globemaster. You want a man, rifleman's fine. Um, another thing I like dropping for myself is Virtual Arsenal, only because I don't like searching for different things. And I'll use the coordinate. I'll add my script. There you go. Now, after you drop your player, and if you do use Virtual Arsenals, you can drop one in there too. If not, don't worry about it. What you'll need is a defense module. It doesn't really matter where you place it. It is under game modes, defend. Um, this stuff is kind of important since we're on land. We're going to set it to naval to 0. So we don't want ships being spawned. So if you don't want any aircraft, you'd set the aircraft to 0. Hopefully you don't do infantry or set that to 0. Anyways, you can do whatever you want. It's your mission. For mine, I'll just leave it at that. Evac Halley wave is, I'm going to leave that at 5. What that is after the 5th wave, you'll have the option of calling in an evac heli. Get your butt out of there, which is actually harder than it sounds. Click OK. Oh, one more important thing. You need to name it GIS mission. Next, you'll want to set your sides, which is a game logic. Since we're only doing blue 4 and op 4, I'm going to set one for each. And make sure it's ungrouped. These will need to be linked to the defend module. There you go. Next, blue 4 is the easiest thing to set up. We're going to need to set up a helipad. I'll set it right here. Because it is an in-game landing zone. That's what signs. That's where it is. Let's make it invisible. You're going to link that helipad to the blue 4 mod or unit. I'm going to throw a blue 4 helo over here. Turn that on so I can make sure I'm not sticking them in something weird like grass or trees. Not that I've ever done that. And we're going to select the Black Hawk or the Ghost Hawk. Oh, it's empty. Yeah, make sure it's an actual blue one. That also needs to be synced to the blue 4 module. I'm pretty sure that is it for blue 4. You will need a headquarters entity, so we're going to just go ahead and drop that because I always forget to do that. That's going to be Intel. Headquarters. Make sure it's set for your side. You mess with the call sign and the type of person talking. That's what you're gonna be hearing. Without that, you won't know what's going on. You don't need to sync it to anything. Just get it out of the way. Now for op 4. Op 4 is probably the most complicated part. The attacking side's got the most modules. First module you will need is the Game Master module. So that's a unit. So we're going to go ahead and drop that. Game Master is under Zeus. You want Game Master. You want to make sure your add-ons are set to none. The Game Master needs to be called BIS Curator. Down here you'll need to set an owner to BIS Curator Unit. It took me a very long time to figure that part out. You gotta make sure that's ungrouped. You link it to op4. Now, the Curator module, or this module, needs quite a couple modules hooked up to it. The first one being setting the cost of the stuff. So you need set cost, soldiers and vehicles. It's hard to explain what all this does. Zeus gets points, apparently, and he spends those points on different things. So each man is worth 1. Each specialty men are worth a little bit more. Cars, armored, air. If you want to make it harder, you can drop the costs. For example, if I want a ton of infantry, when I say a ton of infantry, I do mean it. We're going to set these all to 0.3. I'm not sure what the support guys are, but I'll leave those. And I don't want virtual reality guys, so I'm going to set that to 500. Hopefully he never picks it. Cars, armored, air. You can set those lower. We'll set that to a 1, so at least one will spawn, I think. Basically, you can play with it till you get it to where you want it. Sometimes I'll just drop everything to 0.3 and go at it with me and my friends. But you don't want it grouped, you will want it linked. And that is it for the costs. Yeah, you're going to need another module called allowing the Zeus to manage the add-ons. It's this one. You're going to tell me you can only add. There's no naming of this. That's pretty much it. Just make sure that it's ungrouped and linked to the curator unit. I'm going to move this over here, and I'll show you why. Because now you need to tell Zeus what modules or what units he can use. I have found that this is what works. I usually pick a man first, and it has to be an actual person. Doesn't matter what, well, I usually pick rifleman. How I understand though is when you link it, it's going to be able to pick from any group, so any CSAT standard unit will be pickable from here. I've also seen I had to have a base. It could have been just me screwing up somewhere, but during all my testing and hair pulling, I found out you need a base. Next thing I needed is an Ifrit, and the rest of these are all empty units. So that's a car. I'm throwing an Ifrit. And the next one was a speedboat, which kind of threw me off because I didn't think I needed a speedboat, but again, nothing seemed to work until I added one. Specifically, no, not the rescue boat. The HMG. Now you can play with it and see, make sure I'm just not crazy. But it's possible. And we're going to add an MSE3 grid and a BTR cache. And just because I hate people, we're going to add a helo. That was MI8, 48. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. There you go. Fun part, link them all to the Manage Add-ons module. Now, just make this like that. We're gonna need another module for hiding all these units you just dropped on the ground, which is an object modifier, show and hide. I usually select synchronize objects only, and the action obviously is hide units. Again, ungroup it, and you're going to sync everything. Now, the last thing you'll need for here is the Zeus module. I think that's a game logic. Yep. And you want to select virtual entities, Zeus. Now, I haven't tried any of these other ones. Feel free to try it. Worst that happens is it doesn't work. And make sure it's ungrouped and synced. One thing about the Zeus is you do need to name it VIS Curator Unit. Now, about the Curator Unit name, this I'm pretty sure has to be named that. This has to be whatever the Zeus module is named, so you can try changing it if you want, or you can just stick to what I know works and just leave it at that. I have no rhyme or reason. I don't really care why it does it. So now you're almost done with Op4 stuff. The next thing you're going to need is a place for them to spawn. So we're going to throw a spawn point over here. You can make it as big or as small as you want, inside the areas where the units will spawn. So what we're going to do is make it 25 by 25. And because I don't want things to get all goofed up in the trees and everything else, we're going to put it there, which looks like a flat area on this map. You can have multiple ones. Let's see. You have Air Station Mike can have some too. Let's see, is there any flat spots? Not really. Just right in the middle here. So we're going to drop a trigger right here. Now, as you can see, this trigger has got buildings inside it, and from the few times I've tried it, what happens is somehow helicopters crash or vehicles will just go up in flames when they spawn because of the building it's trying to spawn in. So we're going to see if we can clean that up a little. Just do it like that so they don't crash into buildings when they get created. Now these triggers are the spawn areas. Those just need to be synced to the trigger or to the Op4 side. You can have as many as you want. That is pretty much it for your defense. That's basically a defense mission. There's more stuff that I've done. I'm going to test it, and then I'm going to give the Blue Force some rewards, as I call them. But let's make sure it's all talking right. You know, I did forget something. I think. Yep. Most important is the area that they're defending. That will require a sector, which is, where are my sectors? Multiplayer, where are you? There you are. Sector, default owners, no one. You can mess with the cost if you want. Makes it harder or easier for various, so like if a helicopter flies over and you got this to 5, it'll just immediately win the game for Op4, meaning you'll lose. So what I'll do is, just to make it not so easily winnable, if it's just you playing, it will not take very long. I'll set all those to 1, let the player cost as you be at 2, so it makes it harder for them to capture. We're going to ungroup that sector, and then you need an area, which is a game logic. This location area, make sure that's ungrouped as well. And then a trigger, or you don't really need a trigger, but I like doing a trigger for the same reason. It's the area. We're going to do a 10 by 10 section. This is what you'll see on the map. That's all in hash, whatever color owns it will be hashed out. This will show up as a little flag on the map. So you can do that, and that, and that. So you want defense module sync to the sector, which is then sync to the area, which is sync to the trigger. Now when you preview it, you should hear the guy telling you, hey, bad guys are coming.
All units, be advised. Enemy forces inbound. Attempting to route evac to your grid. Hold your position. Good luck. Out.
You hear the helicopter. Let's get that. The helicopter's taking off right from over here. You see the little other red arrow. These are all automatic. Oh, that's working. I put the virtual arsenal in. So there you go. That is your basic defense mission. What I'm going to do real quick is add rewards for move 4. Do that. You can add triggers. They're all these kind of triggers. You want to type, yes, function, module, multiplayer, type defense underscore tier. Now a tier is a wave. Copy that. Paste. 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do 5 ways. So now that we got that, we're going to set a support module. And we're going to select a requester. We'll call it REQ1, just for being easy. Set all these to 0. That's probably the... Set these all to 0, it's not even going to show up until it's ready to show up. Now, you're going to set your supports. It can be anywhere. I usually just do virtual supports. You can do artillery. You can do bombing runs. You can do helicopter. You can do, we're not going to do a transport because you want to stay there. You can do a supply drop. What you're going to do is unlink all these, or ungroup them, I should say. Now you should have you got 4. Right, so, and you can come up with your own reward system too. But anyways, in which hopefully you already know how to do supports. If you don't, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube somewhere. So I'm not going to explain everything I'm doing. Basically, I'll say it, but I'm not going to explain it all. You link all those to your requester, and then you link your requester to all your Blue 4 members. So if you have 2 members, you want to link this to 2 members, unless you only really want one person ever calling for support. But since they're all at 0, he's not going to see them. So let's say after wave 1, oh yeah, that's the other thing. You got 0, you're going to change these numbers to match the wave. So that was 1, 0, 1, this will be 2, and 3, and 4. Because of wave 0 being wave 1, it's 4 is 5, if that makes any sense. If not, oh well. And here, let's say after wave 1, I want them to be able to do a helo drop, which is your resupply. Now, this is going to be your requester name. I named it Rec1. And drop. That's the type of support you're going to grant or change the number for. Since we had it at 0, we're going to give them 2. So they can have 2 supply drops. You can put whatever number you want in there. You can say call yes FNC limit support. That's it. And what you can actually do is copy that, go to the next one. So this would be wave 3. If they can make it there, they'll get, say, I don't know, artillery. If I spell it correctly. I always misspell artillery. Scratch my head as to why it doesn't work. So that's saying wave 3 they'll get 2 artillery strikes, but you can make it 3. And then here you can add, so you can give them heli support, just the attack helicopter. And here you can give them cast bombing. If you really want to, you can say, you can give them everything. You can give them this. What this will do is it'll set it to 2. So if they, let's say they used up all their artillery already, this will give them 2 more. And you're saying, why am I giving them all this stuff? Because they can make it to the last wave. They deserve to be able to get out of there. Let's see, one more cast heli. So what they could do is call all the support so they can get to the helicopter and get out of there. But, it's, if you're the map maker, you can do whatever you want. That should do it. If I didn't screw it all up. They don't need to be synced to anything. When this becomes true, that's going to happen. That's pretty much it. These are the different waves. We're going to test that theory. What I'm going to do is set my I'm going to set this to so you can't take damage. And then we're going to preview it.
All units, be advised. Enemy forces inbound. Attempting to route
You can put vehicles in this. You can do vehicle supports if you want. And you can make it into a regular base. Some sort of base defense. Did it crash? Oh, vehicle. He's gonna start shooting me. Yeah, I don't like this new. There we go. Why am I doing it? Oh, that's because I want to see the next wave. This could take a while. So, well, you saw the vehicle. I heard a helicopter trying to take off. But don't know what happened with that. And that's it. That is a basic defense mission. Like I said, you could add vehicles in there for the players to use, tanks, whatever. So, have fun with it.